Welcome. It's Charter Local Edition. I'm Brad Pomerantz. We are joined today by Romaine Quinn. He is a member of the Wisconsin State Assembly. He is currently the youngest serving member of that body. He is
24 years old.
24 years old. Nice. And what's even more remarkable about this young man's job, it's his third elected position.
That's correct.
Explain what happened. Oh, 6 years ago. It was so long ago.
Sure, yeah. My senior year in high school in Rice Lake, I ran and was elected to the city council. And I served.
I mean, come on. Your senior year of high school.
Yep.
You're thinking about college, whatever you're thinking about, and you're like, oh, I'm going to run for city council.
Yeah.
How did that happen?
Well, there was issues that I were concerned about, and
it's
easier to make a difference on the inside than the outside. So I decided to run.
Still, I mean, of course it is.
Sure.
But you're 18. I mean, come on. We're thinking of other things when we're 18. What was it about public service that spoke to you at that young age? I mean, were you the star government student? You know, what was it?
Not really. I've always enjoyed politics and following the issues, but it really hurts me when I see people in situations where that could be fixed or that just don't make sense. And so I just saw it needed a different direction and threw my hat in the race. So.
And there were how many seats open?
There was 2 seats open and 4 of us ran.
And you came in
first.
With
and my college professor.
Who came in second.
Yes. Yep.
Nice.
Yep.
A year later, did you run for mayor, or did your fellow council members appoint you mayor?
No, my term was finished in a year because I was filling in for 2 people that had left. Yep, it was a special election. And following that, we decided to run for mayor. And that was a contested election as well.
19.
19.
You're 19 years old.
Yes.
And you ran for mayor.
That's correct.
Talk to us about that race.
Sure. Well, I'd served for a year with a gentleman that was in office.
Okay.
And him and I are great friends now.
Right.
And very supportive.
It's always that way.
At the time, it was a little competitive.
Right.
But no, he had been in there for a while, and I agreed with a lot of things he did. We were on the same page, but certain issues stuck out, and I thought I could make more of a difference from the mayor's post than just on city council. So I ran and was fortunate enough to be elected.
So talk to me about being mayor at 19. Being on the council is one thing.
Sure.
But, you know, it had to be, I mean, look, I can tell you got some confidence there, but still, to be the mayor at the age of 19 on the dais, in the center, how was that for you?
I enjoyed my time as mayor, and I think that's part of the reason what prompted me to run for the assembly as well. It's, you know, I've always said I'll continue doing what I'm doing right now as long as I can make a difference. And when I feel like I can't accomplish anything anymore, I'll move on to the next goal. But
so let's talk about that, because in the end, you went from a body of how many council members and mayor? 5?
8 council members.
Okay, 8 plus 1, so 9 to 99.
Yeah, a little different.
Yeah, it's a little different.
Sure.
You're in the majority party, so that helps.
Yes, it does.
But still, I mean, that's a much different beast. So how have you, in your 6 months since you've been here, how are you working to make a difference?
Sure. Well, it's no different than when I served my time either on council or as mayor, and a lot of it's about relationship building. You can't accomplish anything on your own, and even if you are the mayor, you know, you need at least 4 council members in your vote to accomplish anything.
Well stated.
I've spent most of my time really learning the ropes, developing relationships on both sides of the aisle as well, because there's a lot of young members that are Democrats.
Right, sure.
And we have a different kind of connection, different conversations.
It's all good. It's all good.
But no, and there's rural legislators and urban legislators, so it's a lot of different people, a lot of different connections, and that's what I've spent my time doing.
Let's talk about your third election, which was to the assembly.
Yep.
So as I understand it, your seat is one that's been flipping Democrat, Republican back and forth.
A couple times now.
And so, you know, this was not a race you could just take for granted.
No.
You know, you were running as a Republican an off year, but still.
Sure.
Still, you had to work.
Yeah, we worked
And you
very
went
hard.
from how many voters in your city?
Rice Lake is about 8,500 people.
Okay, so you went from 8,500 to about 55,000.
57,000.
57,000.
Yep.
So that's a bigger beast.
Slightly
yeah,
larger,
slightly. Yeah. Well, what is that? 4 or 5 times bigger. Maybe 6, 7,
Yeah.
whatever. It's 7 times bigger.
Sure.
Math. So tell me how that went. How are you able to connect to 57,000?
Sure, and I think we did a lot of the same approach. People want to know who you are, and it's not always about the issues, but it's a matter of if you trust that person, and if they're of good moral character that can represent you to the best of their ability. And so we spent a lot of time meeting people, because whether it's a local election or even assembly elections, all politics really are local. So
They are.
We knocked on thousands and thousands of doors, listening to concerns, letting people know where I was at on the issue. Maybe we didn't agree, but at least showing up and making that connection. I think that's really what put us over the top. Is we were everywhere all the time for many months.
That's a benefit of youth. I mean, walking is not so hard. You know, you got a large district geographically. You got to walk. It could be tricky.
Sure, our district is one of the largest in the states. Yeah.
But I got to ask you. You know, committee assignments come out.
Yep.
And so you were named vice chair of Aging and long-term care. Explain that, sir.
Yeah, you're not the only one that makes a joke
Explain
about that. Yeah.
How'd that happen?
Currently, well, I actually asked for it. I mean, even when I was on city
Really?
council, I asked to be on the housing authority, which deals with low-income and elderly housing, because what better way to meet a majority of my constituents? And in the assembly now, every committee I've asked for deals with issues that are very important to my district. So even though I may be the youngest serving member, anything that goes through as vice chair of long-term care and aging is going to be very important to my constituents, and I want to say in those things.
Also interesting, you are also vice chair of natural resources and sporting heritage.
Absolutely important to my area.
And I know that recently a sportsman's caucus was launched, very bipartisan,
very much so.
in nature, and apparently senior issues also seem to have a bipartisan flavor to it. There was a debate recently over senior care, and ultimately Democrats and Republicans came together on senior care.
Right.
The governor wasn't so happy, I presume.
Right, and that was just his proposal, because again, he has his own priorities, and a lot of us came together, including myself, and wrote letters and just said it's just not doable at this time, and we need to reinstate that. So I was happy that it was one of our little wins on the budget process.
But talk to me about just kind of falling into issues that seem to have bipartisan appeal. You know, I've spoken with a few members of the Sportsman's Caucus, and it's amazing. Their eyes light up. It's the best committee they've been on, and they love working on it. And it's just they're really into these issues.
No, it's a great committee, and it's chaired by our oldest serving member right now. So he's got a lot of depth and experience in what he does.
Right.
And it's and again, a lot of those issues are bipartisan. It's ensuring the quality of the environment and making sure resources exist for hunters today and tomorrow, and crafting policy that benefits us.
Let me ask you the most important question of all.
Sure.
Blaze orange or blaze pink?
Well, I will probably stick with the orange, since I already have orange clothing.
Okay.
Right.
But it's a big controversy.
It is.
It's amazing color, orange and pink.
Sure. And I can see the intent. I thought it was a fun bill when it first came out. Kind of exciting, because I could purchase my mother some blaze pink.
There you have it.
Get her hunting. But at the same time, people are very traditional and stuck on the orange, so we'll see where that bill plays out.
And I was speaking with some other members about blaze orange, blaze pink, and some actually see the move, in all sincerity, as a way to maybe even attract more women to the sport.
I think that was its intent.
But
and women are the fastest growing group of hunters right now anyway. So.
And then I was speaking with another member, and she had mentioned she went to a scientific lab, and actually the pink works well. It pops.
Right. No, and it's not meant to solve a problem, and it's not going to make the problem worse. Blaze pink is just as easy to see as orange, and so that's a non-issue there.
I want to ask about your grandfather.
Sure.
I understand that you're not following in his footsteps.
Sure.
He's following in your footsteps.
Sure. No, he's always been an inspiration to me, and I think he's part of the reason why I used to sit and watch the news with him, and we talk about the issues, and and now I was running for council and mayor at the time, and then he is now town chair of his township as well, and he sits on the county board. So
near you?
In my district. Yep. In my district. So we go back and forth. So he tells me the issues where he sees from his perspective, and we talk back and forth, and it's been a lot of fun.
I can't imagine the sense of pride, and I'm not trying to be a sycophant, but honestly, the sense of pride he must feel that his, not even son, but grandson, I mean, that's even bigger and better.
Right. Well, and the best part is we have the same name. My grandfather is also named Romaine, as well as my father, and so he. I
don't know if that's good or bad. A little confusing,
well,
right?
I know.
No, but I hear you. I mean, it's
yeah.
So tell me about that. Was he with you on all election nights?
Oh yeah, very much so. And it's fun because when my first staffer came down, he's new too. My grandfather would call and say, "Hey, this is Romaine," and staff was like,
"No, it's not.
That's not Romaine. He's in the other room." So he used to play jokes like that all the time. So whenever he answers the phone, he has to say, before when I was mayor, he'd answer the phone and say, "Hi, this is Romaine. I'm not the mayor." Because people would ask. But no, it's been a lot of fun, and
it's a great story.
Been fun for him too. So
I wish you the best of luck. I wish your grandfather best of luck, and I have a feeling I'll be hearing your name a lot in the next few years and decades.
We'll see.
His name is Romaine Quinn. He's a member of the Wisconsin State Assembly. I'm Brad Pomerantz. It's Charter Local Edition.
Awesome. Yeah.